Then the diagram acts like blueprints for a building. You simply take the parts of the diagram and turn them into parts of the database. The final diagram should look kind of like this. Now to explain those parts. First, we have entities. An entity represents a person, place, or thing you want to track in a database. In this example, student. This will become a table in the database.
So you're saying a student is an entity?
Kind of. Student is more of a container which will hold many students. Entity basically means that all of the things that are like a student will be grouped together under student.
So there will be this table of students?
Yes. Each occurrence of this entity is an entity instance. This will become each record or row in a table.
Oh, so this is like each individual student. A single student is an instance of the entity student.
Yeah, you've got the idea. Now we have attributes. An attribute describes various characteristics about an individual entity. These will become the columns in the table.
Wait, it does what?
Well, it tells us more about the entities. Each of those students now has a first name. The first name is an attribute because it tells us more about each instance of student.
So each individual student has a first name. Got it.
Yes, but it is important to note that these attributes can be unique to each student, but they don't have to be, meaning that each student can have their own name, but if there are two students with the same first name, it is still okay.
That makes sense.
Good, because that brings us to the next part, primary keys. A primary key is an attribute or group of attributes that uniquely identifies an instance of the entity.
Slow down. It's an attribute that identifies what?
Remember how I said that attributes don't have to be unique to each student? Well, a primary key is like a special attribute that must be unique. A primary key will uniquely identify each instance, or make it so that no two rows will have the same value for that attribute.
I think I understand. So at first the students only had first names, but if two of them had the same first name, it would be confusing and they might get mixed up. But now you added student ID, which means that no two students have the same number.
Yeah, you've got the idea. Keep in mind that sometimes you need more than one attribute to make each instance unique. In those cases, you need to use a composite key, but we'll explain that one more when we get to business rules.
Sometimes you need a composite key instead of a primary key. Got it.